Silent growth. Janelle was the firecracker in every room. Bold laugh, bold clothes, bold jewelry, bold makeup, and bold spirit. She loved good food, weekend hangouts, and dressing like every day was a mini fashion show. So, when her tummy slowly began to bulge over time, she didn't panic. It's just soft weight, she'd say. A little food, baby. Her mom would tease. This your stomach. Are you hiding a baby in it? Her friends called it her signature pouch. They joked, she joked, but deep inside, Janelle was unsure. The bulge didn't move, no matter how little she ate or how hard she worked out. Her jeans refused to zip. Her gowns clung in unflattering ways. Her periods, brutal. She bled so heavily she sometimes soaked through a pad in under an hour. Once during a lecture at the university, she had to wrap a scarf around her waist to hide a surprise stain. Her cramps could take her down for days, and she'd wake at night multiple times just to pee. Her lower back throbbed, and even after full sleep, she felt drained. Still, she convinced herself it's probably stress or age. Maybe it's something I ate, but I'll be fine. She brushed off the discomfort and went about her day.
Janelle never thought of herself as extremely beautiful. Smart, maybe. Strong, sometimes. But beautiful? Not really. It was Uchechi who first showed her the flyer, a glittery, over-the-top Instagram ad.
Win 5 million naira
in the Lagos student body pageant for bold, confident young women aged 18 to 27. No experience required. Janelle, you should enter. Uchechi beamed, shoving her phone in her face. You're tall, you've got the cheekbones, and that walk you do when you're angry, pageant ready. Janelle laughed it off. Me? In a swimsuit? Please, but that night, lying on her thin mattress, with only the ceiling fan humming above, she couldn't stop thinking about it.
5 million naira could change everything.
A chance to be seen, really seen, not just as the girl with the loud laugh, or the one who always dressed like she had something to prove, but as something more. Maybe even a shot at stardom and freedom from her humble beginnings, and the constant pressure to rise above them. Still, doubt crept in. What if they laugh at my stomach? What if my skin isn't clear enough? What if I mess up and everyone sees I don't belong? Her phone buzzed with a voice note. It was Ruth, her course mate. Janelle, apply. Do it. You don't need to be perfect to be powerful. Her phone buzzed. It was Dami, another course mate. Janelle, what's the worst that could happen? Just apply. You've got the looks and the guts. And I'll be cheering you on all the way. By morning, her hands were shaking as she filled out the online form. She used her nickname to hide her identity. Uploaded a picture Uchechi had previously taken of her. The one where she was laughing, raw and real. She didn't expect to be selected, but 1 week later, she got the email. Congratulations! You've been chosen as one of the final 12 contestants. 3 months before the main event, the contestants gathered at a sleek hotel in Ikeja. A former beauty queen, all poise and power, addressed them. This is not just about beauty, she said, pacing the room. You will be judged on confidence, presence, fitness, and your ability to own the stage. Janelle took notes furiously. There would be swimsuit rounds, interviews, traditional wear showcases, and a final walk with music. You've got to train like queens, not just look like one, the woman added with a smile. They were told to meet with the organizers twice a week for guidance, practice, and tips. These sessions covered everything from walking techniques to managing nerves. It was intense, especially for girls like Janelle, who had never done anything like this before.
During one of these sessions, one of the coordinators paused while watching Janelle rehearse. She pulled her aside gently and whispered, "You're doing well, but the tummy, you need to work on it. Judges notice everything." Janelle flushed, then nodded quickly, pleading, I promise, I'm working on it, please don't cut me." She went home that day and made a strict schedule. No sugar, no carbs, daily walks, nighttime affirmations in front of the mirror. Janelle trained like crazy, crash diets, lemon water, waist trainers, zero sugar. She gave it her all and lost weight everywhere except her belly.
The day of the pageant arrived with nerves crackling in the air. To boost viewership and keep the suspense alive, the organizers had decided to end with the swimsuit segment. a break from tradition that made Janelle's heart sink. It was a bold move for them. For her, it felt like sabotage. Janelle made it through the earlier segments, the traditional wear, the talent showcase, even the Q&A, by selecting flowing, structured outfits that hugged all the right places and camouflaged her stomach. Her confidence and wit had dazzled the judges, but now it was time for the swimsuit round, and there was nowhere left to hide. She wore a beautiful blue swimsuit. Her makeup was flawless, but she was terrified. Backstage, she could barely breathe through the waist trainer. Her belly still bulged slightly beneath the suit. She pulled it in, held her breath, pushed her chest out. Contestant number 7, Janelle Akande. She stepped onto the stage like she owned it, hips swaying, arms poised, throwing a confident twirl at the end of the runway. She even added a playful wink before her final pose. But behind that performance was pressure and pain. The crowd clapped, the lights were blinding, cameras flashed. She smiled, posed, and strutted, but the whispers started. Is she pregnant? That swimsuit is doing her dirty. Waist trainer can't hide that pot belly. She heard some ladies in the front row laugh and point. She kept walking, tighter, straighter, sucking it in harder. Her vision blurred, her knees weakened, her ribs hurt from holding her breath. Then it happened. Janelle collapsed on stage, the shock sending one of her heels snapping beneath her. Gasps echoed through the hall as she hit the floor, arms splayed, her secret no longer hidden. The crowd gasped. The music cut. She scrambled to sit up, but in the chaos, the tight waist trainer snapped at the seam with a sharp pop. Her belly, long pressed in and hidden, pushed forward against the fabric of her swimsuit, now stretched and twisted. There was no hiding it anymore. A backstage assistant, wide-eyed and kind, rushed over with a large robe and draped it over her shoulders. You're okay. Just breathe and walk away slowly. Janelle nodded slowly, holding the robe tightly. Chin up, heart racing, she walked off the stage, not with grace, but with quiet dignity, her steps uneven from the broken heel.
Janelle slipped out through the back entrance, heels in hand, tears blurring her vision as she fled the venue without looking back. She ignored every call, left every message unopened, and locked herself in her room. Curled up under her blanket, she cried until exhaustion took over and sleep finally came. The next day, she finally picked up her phone. The video of her collapse was everywhere, over 300,000 views and counting. In the comments, strangers tore her apart. Contestant fainted trying to hold in her stomach. Waist trainer won, Janelle 0. This is why some people should never wear swimsuits in public. Each one felt like a slap. Cruel words from people who knew nothing about her. Memes, remixes, TikToks mocking her. But one comment stayed with her. Next time, work on yourself before signing up. She didn't even feel angry. She felt defeated. Maybe they're right. Maybe I just didn't try hard enough. The next day, she stopped eating. Black coffee, cucumber slices, dry air. For a while, things were calm. She stayed off social media, avoided calls, and focused on resting. She even managed a few peaceful days watching her favorite TV shows and taking long baths. Life slowly returned to normal. The buzz faded, the stares softened, and even Janelle began to laugh again. But one humid afternoon, after days of feeling sluggish and thinking it was just stress, her mother noticed she was unusually quiet and unusually warm. "Let's just stop by the clinic," she said casually, "just to be sure." Janelle assumed it was exhaustion, maybe dehydration at worst. When the nurse returned with her results, she smiled. "It's just malaria. You'll be fine after a few days of rest and medication." At the clinic, the female doctor gave her malaria meds, then asked gently, "Are you eating at all?" Janelle laughed weakly. "Honestly, I've been starving. I can't lose this belly fat. I fainted at a pageant because of it." The doctor chuckled and touched her stomach. "Please, if yours is belly fat, then mine would be a watermelon." They both laughed. Then the doctor added, "Let me examine you quickly." She performed a full physical examination. Everything felt normal. No sharp tenderness, no obvious lump. "You feel fine, but let's do a pelvic scan just to be sure. I want to rule some things out before we close this off." Just then, another female doctor, Dr. Kemi, passed the door. The first doctor called out, "Kemi, meet our pageant star. She says she has a potbelly." Dr. Kemi peeked in and grinned. "Potbelly? Then I'm shaped like a basket of yams. You're in good company." They all laughed, but Janelle's eyes stayed quite serious. Janelle was sent straight to the radiology unit for a pelvic scan. She lay silently as the technician moved the probe across her belly, eyes scanning the monitor with growing focus. Then he paused. "You've got multiple fibroids," he said softly, "and they are large enough to distort your uterus. It's been growing quietly," the doctor explained, "possibly for years. They're likely causing all the bloating, the bleeding, the back pain." Janelle sat up slowly. "Wait, all of this? The belly, the fatigue, the bleeding?" Back in the consultation room, the doctor explained. "Yes, fibroids can cause a rounded stomach. Yes, they can lead to heavy, prolonged bleeding during your period. Yes, they can press on the bladder, cause back pain and frequent urination. Yes, they're quite common, and no, you are not alone." Janelle felt tears rise. "So, I'm not just lazy or shapeless." "No," the doctor smiled. "You were just uninformed, but now you know." Back at the clinic, Janelle's doctor handed her a pamphlet. "This is something I didn't quite expect," she said gently, her brows slightly furrowed. "Your stomach didn't seem overly distended during the examination, but the scan showed otherwise. Let me walk you through this. Fibroids can be caused by hormonal imbalances, genetics, or lifestyle factors. They grow in or around the uterus. Some grow outward, pressing on organs. Others grow inside the lining and cause bleeding." Janelle nodded, absorbing every word. "Treatment isn't one size fits all. There's medication to shrink them, lifestyle changes that help, and for some cases, surgery, like myomectomy or uterine fibroid embolization." "And can they come back?" Janelle asked. "Sometimes, yes, but early detection and regular checkups can reduce complications. Eating well, reducing stress, and listening to your body matters." Janelle folded the pamphlet carefully. This wasn't just her story, it was a message. Weeks later, Janelle posted on her page, "I fainted on stage trying to flatten a fibroid-filled belly. Everyone laughed, but I finally found answers. I have fibroids, and they're more common than you think." Ladies, don't ignore your body. A stubborn belly, heavy periods, constant fatigue. It's not always fat. It could be fibroids. Speak up. Get checked. You're not lazy. You're not alone. What she didn't expect was the wave of kindness that followed. Messages poured in, coursemates, lecturers, even strangers. Some shared their own stories. Some apologized for their unkind words. Others simply said, "Thank you for speaking up." Girls who once whispered behind her back now looked her in the eye with quiet respect. A group of final year students even invited her to speak at their health awareness event. In the cafeteria, someone left a sticky note on her tray. "You're stronger than you look. Thank you for helping us understand." Then came an email from the pageant board, an apology, an acknowledgement, and an offer. They were covering her medical bills and naming her as the ambassador for their new Health First initiative. She didn't reply immediately. For a while, she just sat there, phone in hand, eyes glassy, letting it all sink in. For the first time, she didn't feel pitied. She felt seen and finally understood. Fibroids are non-cancerous growths that affect 70 to 80% of women by age 50. Symptoms include heavy bleeding, pelvic pain, bloating, frequent urination, fatigue. Don't ignore your body. Talk to a doctor. Fibroids are treatable. Early care saves futures.